that our flag was still there. Oh, say.
And judicial guests here with us today to celebrate Judge Adrienne Scruggs' official investiture ceremony. I'm going to ask that you please hold your applause until the very end because we do want to recognize these who are here. We have Justice Kimberly Ann Thomas, Judge Lawrence Ellisall, Judge Chandra Baker Robinson, Judge Karen Braxton, Judge Lisa Martin, Judge Adele Harb, Judge Nicole Goodson, Judge Carla Testani, Judge Kelly Ramsey, Judge Kathleen McCarthy, Judge Bradley Cobb, Judge Todd Briggs, Judge Therese Anderson, Judge Kamisha Gant, Judge Mike Giroux, Judge Miriam Perry, Judge Teresa Patton, Judge Kiana Lillard, Judge Janan Hamoud, and Judge Mark Slavens and Judge Sean Jacquet. We also are joined by Sheriff Raphael Washington, State Representative Stephanie Young, Detroit City Council Member James Tate Jr., Van Buren Township Trustee Kevin Martin, and Westland Council Member Delano Hornbuckle. For any other elected officials I've missed as well, I apologize, but thank you for being here. And now let's give a round of applause to all of those.
Bishop, thank you again for always opening up the doors for occasions such as these. I am so truly honored, Judge Adrienne Scruggs, for this opportunity to just share this moment. This is special. I don't take this for granted whatsoever. It is truly an honor to see someone, from my eyes, because we didn't have a relationship at all before she got on the campaign trail. And similar to what Mama Crosby said, I'm a homebody myself. And I had my dad, and I was so thankful to have my dad with me every step of the way in my first election in 2009. And it was great to have those conversations that we didn't always get a chance to have when it was just he and I, because I'm a grown man now. We had a grown folks conversation. It was awesome to see that. The first time I met you was at a coffee hour that I had at one of our satellite houses. I host 3 community meetings every month, so that's a lot of community touches. I've been doing that for 10 years. And for the last year or so, when she started running, guess what I saw at every one of those events? Scruggs for Judge. I have my version coming up too. We had Scruggs for Judge every time. If she was not able to be there, there was Mom. Right? Mom was there every step of the way. You know, sometimes you don't come from families that have big names and have a wealth behind you, and you just get the thing you have that other persons may not have is grit, hard work, able to get out, and you know that you can't match them with those other things, but they can't match that energy you have. And I didn't see anybody who had the energy that Adrienne Scruggs had while she was on the campaign trail. She still looked all right, so it seemed like you got that same energy going on right now, right? So she never let that go, and that's the key. Don't ever forget how hard it was to get to this point. Don't ever forget those connections you made with the community to get to this point. Don't ever forget all the lessons you learned even prior to running for office that led you to want to get to this point. As a resident, I'm so thankful to have someone of your caliber and your compassion, expertise, wisdom, sitting in that seat. We are at a point now where a lot of things in our country and our city is doing a little weird. Can't always celebrate everything that's happened. Some things we are just trying to figure out. But one thing I can say is we've got absolutely one great thing that we know we can celebrate. Outside of the Pistons, let's say that too. We can always say we got a chance to see Adrienne Scruggs for Judge have a nameplate that now says Judge Adrienne Scruggs. We thank you for your service. We thank you for your help. We are here for you in any way as a community.
Oh, hallelujah to the true and living God. Hallelujah to Jesus. See, I know I'm safe saying that here in this place with this sister. Because that's really what connected us. Giving honor to the bishop and to the pastor and to everyone here, but this is truly a day to celebrate. Because what's really exciting is the fact that I did not endorse her first. Look at that. I didn't because of timing. And I think I see her out here. My one good friend and sister, she was like, Steph, I'm running. I need your support. I'm like, yeah, we've been in this fight, in this criminal justice fight, this fight for justice for a long time. You have my support. And then I met Adrienne. And then I got to know her, and I'm like, oh, Lord, well, you got me caught in between something here. But God had a plan. And the plan manifested on that election day because we're here now celebrating Judge Adrienne Scruggs. God always knows what's best. But the thing that I'll never forget was after I talked to Adrienne, I said, well, sis, I've already committed my endorsement to somebody else. She said, that's okay. And we still became family. We still became family. And then my other friend dropped out the race. I'm like, Scruggs for judge. Right on, let's go. Because it's not often that you meet a person and then you meet their family. I just turned 60, like the sheriff said, it ain't about me, but every now and again I like to tell my age because folks say I don't look that old. So, but when you meet somebody like Adrienne, and then you find out the family that she comes with, and then I'm like, am I officially adopted yet? Because, look, I call her my mom. It ain't but a few years difference. But I call her my mother, too, because they have a heart for people. They have a heart for people, and clearly Adrienne has a heart for justice. And so, as I was just thinking about this, she said, Steph, I'm gonna want you to come say some words. I was just praying, I was asking the Lord, what scripture would you have me share with my sister on today? And this is the one that I received from the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and 15. It simply reads, do not pervert justice. Do not show partiality to the poor or favoritism to the great, but judge your neighbor fairly. Judge your neighbor fairly. And so that's something we do not have to worry about. We know someone that's going to be in office that's going to judge the people fairly. And so I'm excited to be here to just share these few words with you and to continue to uplift and to help undergird her, because it's not going to necessarily be easy. Making these types of decisions about people's lives and what, that's not easy. But we know God has sent the right person for such a time as this. So God bless you all, and God bless you, my sister. Amen.
I don't share the same sentiments as Mama. You're gonna have to pay me. Adrienne has caused an unhealthy relationship I have with the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I can never do that again. We caught on earlier on the type of events that were for me. The events that were for me were somewhere inside, sitting down where it was warm. I am Adrienne's older sister, and I am extremely honored to stand here today celebrating her. Adrienne could have went one of two ways. A lot of y'all don't know. Adrienne was either going to be a lawyer or she was going to be a rapper. I'm just going to leave that right there. It was only going to be two things. She might spit a few bars for you later on. I am so proud of Adrienne because nobody could have done it like she did. Adrienne actually had her mind made up of so many things. Adrienne decided, and it was almost like I was her test dummy. So I worked at fast food restaurants. Adrienne decided she wasn't gonna work at fast food restaurants. Was there a little incident at Taco Bell? Maybe, okay, later. Adrienne knew what type of car she wanted to drive. She had her life planned out for her. Adrienne went to law school, came back home from school with a completely dependent upon breastfed baby. This young man never drank out of a bottle a day in his life. We would have to, shake a sippy cup, like to get, like drop some milk until Adrienne got home and she was able to take care of her son. She never ever complained about anything, even on this road. And I think that when you first become a judge, or when you first decide that you're going to become a judge, you need to tell your family, because your family also is running for judge. So there were plenty of days that it would be my mom and Kristen, and during this little journey, I actually had a surgery during it, and I was wondering who would be there to support Adrienne. She still had my mom and everything, and I would always ask Adrienne, you know, like, how do you do this? Like, how do you keep going? Especially when we had to start over with all of those signatures. And Adrienne would just say prayer, prayer.
If I can carry even a fraction of the strength and determination you both shown, I know I'll be on the right tracks. Congrats to Adrienne, aka Judge Scruggs. I know this is only the beginning of even greater things to come. I'm cheering you on every step of the way, and I'm beyond grateful to have you in my life. Thank you.
Hail Mighty Phoenix for all the Renaissance graduates. Thank you, Naraya. To give our oath of office, we're going to have Justice Kimberly Ann Thomas, with the family Bible being held by Judge Scruggs' mother, Yolanda M. Crosby. We're going to have the presentation of robe by her son, I think our collective baby, Gabriel Grayson, and the presentation of gavel by Judge Karen Braxton.
Year, and the people of Wayne County are so privileged to have a judge who has such compassion and integrity and fairness. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this.
This Bible is near and dear to my entire family. It was actually my mother's Bible, and she had it since the early 70s. I didn't know it was going to be a part of the program until just a couple of days ago when she said, I'm using your mom's Bible. So, here it is. I do what I'm told to.
As most of you are aware, I am not made for public speaking, so it means more than you know when I'm coming up here to say a few words for my mom. And as everyone here can attest to, she has had a long run on this campaign. When I first got back from Tennessee and I found out my mother was running for judge, I didn't know what I was signing up for when I offered to help. I thought this would be easy. Oh no, I learned it wasn't. Finding out all of this and still learning that she's still working, going to work every single day, waking up pretty much at the crack of dawn, and not even getting home until past midnight most days. I think as much as I wanted to, do not complain, just help her as much as you can, because whenever she got home and I saw that smile on her face, it just made it worth it. Thank you.
officials, and other judges. It is my honor and pleasure to come before you as president of the Association of Black Judges of Michigan to present our organization's banner to Judge Scruggs. I thank her for allowing me the opportunity to welcome her to the bench and to ABJM. This moment is more special because Judge Scruggs is more than just an ABJM member. She's more than just a fellow judge. She's a friend. I don't know if she remembers, but we actually met at Judge Anderson's investiture back in April of 2023. We happened to sit next to one another, we exchanged some pleasantries, and chatted about her work as a referee. We didn't see each other again for about 6 months. We showed up at a luncheon together, we sat together, we talked, we exchanged phone numbers, and we settled into this pattern of running into each other some of everywhere. This happenstance meeting has developed into a friendship of checking in on one another, offering support, saving seats for Miss Yolanda and my husband when we showed up at the same events together. We've laughed together, marveled at Miss Yolanda's working the room, and on behalf of the Association of Black Judges of Michigan. My notebook here filled with, just some light commentary. We won't be very long. My God, this is awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. Turn it up. All right, there we go. This is the real speech here. It's going to be brief. I have always been a person of faith, and the evidence of God's unmerited grace and favor has consistently been evident in my life. I consistently encourage myself and do my best to encourage others by reminding myself and them that there is a plan, purpose, and destiny for your life. And by the grace of God, I'm now living mine. I attended a worship service most recently this past Sunday with ABJM. And at this worship service, the words of Reverend Thomas Willis were so very prevalent at that time. They just stuck with me. And that's my story. Because he said God doesn't always call the equipped, but he always equips the called. It's not what's on you, it's what's in you. And it brings me to, just tell me a little bit about me. I went to a campaign event. It was a Black Tech Saturday, and I attended that campaign event with my god sister turned Chief of Staff, Kristen. And at that event, I was meeting a lot of people, and I met a young man, and we were in conversation. And interestingly enough, he said, "You must have grown up with a silver spoon in your mouth." And I'm like, "Really? What made you think that?" And he said, "Just because of the way you speak and the way you carry yourself." And I said, "You know what? You don't know my story.
Yeah.
You don't know the things that I've come through. So just let me tell you." And so I grew up in Southwest Detroit. And God planted a seed within me at a young age. And the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, has truly been evident. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Now, being born and raised in Southwest Detroit, if you're from Detroit, you know where that is, over Livernois and Warren. I'm just going to leave it at that. Lived in a two-family flat with, at the time, my younger two siblings, well, actually my older and my younger brother. My mom, my stepdad, and my family lived downstairs, and we lived upstairs. It was a real communal neighborhood. Ride the bikes until the street lights came on. Everybody knew everybody, but that was the neighborhood. I love music, having my own groups. Shout out to DRG and the Hit Sticks. Making beats with my sister was a highlight. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep that in, 2,300, we're gonna let that go. She knows what it is, but those are the secrets that stay secrets. Attending school and watching the Cosby Show, but specifically watching Claire Huxtable. I used to watch Felicia Rashad, Claire Huxtable, and I watched her, and I watched her poise, and I watched her class, and Rudy was fine, and so was Bud, but I watched Claire Huxtable. And then when my fourth grade elementary school teacher, Miss Cruz at Hanneman Elementary, and she did what all elementary school teachers and most teachers do, ask their students, what do you want to be when you grow up? She made me give voice to the seed that had been planted in me, that had been resonating in my mind. And I said in my fourth grade wisdom and sass, I want to be an attorney. And she said, well, why? I said, because it's not enough black women lawyers. And she just looked at me and smiled and said, okay, Adrienne. Now, I'll tell you now, just like I've told many of you before, I didn't know what an attorney was. I didn't know what they did. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know anything about the task or any of that, but I saw Claire Huxtable. And so that provided me with representation. From that point on, I walked in my destiny, and I was laser focused, because while Claire Huxtable gave me the representation, my mom, Yolanda Crosby, who you've heard from, instilled in me the work ethic and determination to make my dreams come to fruition. We moved on the 24th and Warren, and again, you Detroiters, you know the neighborhood. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We moved over there when I was 11. I attended McMichael Middle School, and when I was accepted and attended and graduated from the best high school, Renaissance High School, class of 1998, go Mighty Phoenix. I'm sorry for Cass Tech. Ooh, I had to get that out. I had to catch 2 buses to attend school. Sometimes a third if the Dexter bus was coming once I got off the Greenfield bus and I didn't want to walk the extra couple blocks, but I was up at the bus stop around 6 o'clock in the morning every single day. Just to make sure I made it to that high school. I guess I did have the silver spoon, since everybody in the neighborhood had that same silver spoon. You go to the Kroger, the Meijer, the grocery store, they were all silver. But I think what he was referring to, the young man, was privilege. And while I did not grow up with privilege, I had provision. And I can tell you that my provision gave me the fortitude needed for the adversity and the obstacles that I most certainly faced. You've heard a little bit about my story. I went to law school. In my second year of law school, I gave birth to my wonderful son 2 weeks before second year law school began, and I went right back as a full-time student. And my son was a very determined young man, and so he wouldn't touch a bottle or pacifier to save his soul. So I had to make sure that I adjusted my schedule to suit his needs. So you feed, nurse him before I go to school, and hurry up and nurse him on the way back, so that I make sure I adjust myself to his needs. The one time that I couldn't adjust that schedule, he was 4 months and decided that he would lodge a protest. I don't know of a 4-month-old who will try to starve themselves because you don't have it from the source, but thanks, Gabriel. I appreciate that dedication you made me have. And so he definitely kept that drive to press forward, even when the difficulties of parenthood versus studying for class and studying for the bar exam and starting a practice, which by the grace of God, thank you, Jesus, was very short-lived. And when I was fortunate enough to stop that short-lived career and start working for the Third Circuit Court, I worked for a phenomenal judge who's no longer with us, Judge Prentice Edwards, and he taught me and modeled for me then, which something that I practice and do now. That's my ABCs. That's the always be calm and the appropriate judicial temperament. And he'd tell me, Adrienne, people just want to be heard, and it's your responsibility to actually hear them, to see the person and not just a docket number.
to give them their day in court. And I continued that service on at the Third Circuit with the front of the court being a senior staff attorney, and many of the relationships with the judges who are present now, and I'm so grateful for their attendance, I had because of being a senior staff attorney and working with them and serving on their docket. And I would have conversations with them over and over again for years at a time, and they would encourage me and press me and say, you need to seek an appointment or run for judge. You know, you need to do this, and because they saw something in me. And I'm so grateful for their faith and their belief in me. It was absolutely overwhelming then, and it's so overwhelming and appreciated now, and so I thank you. But even with all of that encouragement from judges who were so wise and gave me wise counsel, I didn't feel like I was ready. And so I stayed my course until I went and joined the Washington County bench as a referee in October 21, and I gained the experience and the confidence needed to pursue my dream of a judge. I'm almost finished. I only got 9 more pages. And while I was there, the campaign journey for me really began in 2022, laying the groundwork, starting preparations, or what I thought was preparation, because my idea of campaigning versus getting boots on the ground, they were two totally different things, I did seek that appointment. Major Ray Judge Episode. He's a good friend of mine. And during that journey, again, I just kept the campaigning going. And I had some trials, and you've heard about some of those trials, and I'll just say 3. We'll just say, go to the number 3, because their number is going to be very, very poignant. Some of those major hurdles, 3. First, the signatures. And you've heard that, but you didn't hear the whole number, because that was 6,000 signatures, and my birthday is January 20th. I celebrate, by the way, until December 1st, so you still have time, because I'm still here, so if I see you on the 20th, we got enough time to celebrate until December 1st. We gotta give it up. But I had 6,000 signatures, and I got a call from my phenomenal manager, Jeremy Glick. While I was at work, he's like, hey, we got a problem. And I'm thinking to myself, no, you got a problem. And the long and short of that is that we did, in fact, scrap 6,000 signatures. 6,000 signatures. I think we officially stopped with that 6,000 about January 28, 26, something around that. Right. And so we had to start afresh. And I'll tell you that when we started afresh, our pace was just as relentless. And when I filed my petitions, I believe it was January 19th, I filed my petitions with 5,777 petitions and still had some left at home. The second hurdle was, of course, the primaries and, campaigning and working full-time, door knocking events and all of those things. But that was just the second hurdle, just to make sure that I was on the ballot for the general. And then the general realizing that that was it. It was 3 things. And we had a lot of things going on. And on the night of the general election, when I finally made it home, I'll tell you that I had a spirit of calm and praise that just settled over me. And out of nowhere, the scriptures, Psalms 34:1, just started resonating in my head. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. That filled my mouth with song and praise, filled my mind and my heart, and I just said it over and over again. And Mama will tell you, I told you I was going to bed, but I stayed up to about 3 o'clock because I had an appointment the next day. And out of all of that adversity, here I stand. Thankful, grateful, and blessed to serve in this capacity. I don't take for granted this tremendous opportunity that I've been afforded, that I've been blessed with. And so I'm going to hurry up with my thank you so we can go ahead and finish up with our night. I want to start off my thank you to my manager, Jeremy Glick, and 1837 Partners, because I didn't know what campaign strategies and all of those things were. And one of my now colleagues, Judge Adrienne Slade, she said, from Washington County, she said, who's your handler? And I said, what? What is that? Well, I found out. So thank you, Jeremy, and Ethan in his absence. I want to thank my god sister, Current Chief of Staff, Kristen Kelly, who was in the audience, and she decided she didn't want to give remarks because I made her do it too much. There were so many events that I attended. My roster was pretty full. There were some times when we look at a schedule and we had over 20 events in a Saturday. We attended those events. I have, even to this day, on my phone, my events calendar, and there are over 600 events that we attended. Kristen was tireless, she was steadfast, and she was present with me. And I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you, and I thank you for your support. Even in the midst of things that she was facing at home, or with her own requirements, I appreciate you, and I see you. I want to thank my field director, Gabriel, my son, who was an absolute beast on all things doors, lit drops, yard signs, events, anything outdoor that didn't require having to speak and engage somebody in that capacity. He was out there doing it, but he was an absolute beast at it. I could not have come this far, and I would not have won this election without you. I am so honored to be your mom. You are a manifestation of God's blessing to me, and I thank you for all that you've done to support me. To my nieces, Mariah, the ones who are here in the audience, Sanaya, Reagan, Kayla, my family, my friends, my sister, my brother, my best friend Tracy, who's in the audience, all of my dear friends, everybody who's out on the campaign trail with me, to all of the speakers who were so gracious to me tonight, all of you who attended or wanted to attend and could not. Happy birthday to my friend Deshawn, whose family came up from Tennessee, a family of 5, just so she could say, what can I help you with today? And they went out to campaign events for me. To my colleagues, thank you for your time and attention and consideration of your attention and being present today. Thank you for pouring into me and supporting and encouraging me. Thank you for being present for me and for giving me the wisdom that you have as judges on this bench. I thank you for the opportunity to just call on you, and I'm grateful that I can sit on this bench and do justice and work with you. I have family members who are no longer present here, and they sowed a seed in me and on whose shoulders I stand. And one of those dearly missed family members is my granddad, whose name I carry, Thomas Scruggs. And my granddad used to say, give me my flowers while I yet live. He would say that to me. He was a deacon in the church at St. Philip's Missionary Baptist Church, and his service was so profound that on the day that he passed, it was right after a service where he and another deacon had just finished giving communion to someone who couldn't make it to the church. And after he gave that last communion, he got into the car, and that was his last service. And so my granddad, who believed in service and who would sneak me peppermints while we were going up to altar call in my hand. I think he was trying to tell me something, but I'm just going to say he just wanted to give me sweets. But him saying, give me my flowers while I yet live, that resonated and it meant something. I think we all know what that means, that we acknowledge people while we have the opportunity. And so I have to make sure that I'm acknowledging one of the most vital people in my life, and that's my mom. And I want to give you these. I wanted to give my mom these flowers and made sure that I let you know just a fraction of what she did for me. Now, she said what she couldn't be paid to do because she'd do it for free, but let me tell you, she was everywhere and did everything, including taking the leave from her job, just so that she could attend events for me because I could not do it. My mom put stickers on my bathroom mirror, and it surrounded my mirror. Keep God in the center. You got this. grit. I pray for you every day. Scruggs for judge. I love you. Walk in your purpose. Every positive, encouraging, and motivating thing that she could do, she put in a sticky note surrounding my bathroom mirror. So every day when I got up, those are the things that I would see to give me encouragement and support. There are no words to express my immense love for you and my gratitude for how fiercely you love and cover me. We did it. I won. All right, so told you there were the three main events. We had the petitions, you know that story. We had the primary, we had the general. And 3 must be my lucky number because 313,000 people elected me, and I thank each and every one of you for entrusting me with this tremendous honor and opportunity to serve, because that's what we're called to do. It's not serve this, it's serve us. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to go forward and serve. 3 people started out in this race. But it's not the big 3, it's just big me. For having us here in your house. Thank you for covering us in prayer, having every time I went to a church service. Just thank you. And to my pastor, Dr. Spencer T. Ellis, I thank you for your spiritual leadership, your guidance, your support, and your covering. Thank you.